gosh, I'm so excited for this.
Me too. That's cool. Sacral chakra.
Just the whole, everything that's going on in the astrological events, astrological events. Let's get it out. Exactly. It's funny whenever you say the word ass, it like puts pictures of butts in your mind. That's why we like giggle.
Totally.
That's funny. Good thing they're all over my Instagram feed, so I have like pictures of nice butts in my mind.
Hey, that's inspiration right there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're working on the butt.
Right? So you're working on your gluteus maximus.
Shannon's like scientifically.
I know, right? Here you go.
I'm like ass. Okay, let's see. Enough goofing around, Randina. Let's get together on this show. Okay, I'm so excited. Really, I can't believe this. I can't believe this next 6 months, and we're so blessed that we always have you to like be there for us as our high priestess of the stars.
Oh my God.
Guide us. I'm not kidding. When I got the third part in the soul purpose reading, I'm just gonna read this while I'm cooking dinner, and then I get like 2 minutes into it, I'm like, I need a fucking pen. So I had to stop what I was doing, go get a pen, get my notebook, and sit there, and I'm just like had to pause it and wait and let it absorb, and then write it all down, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, okay, this happens every time, and you think I wouldn't be fucking surprised, but I'm still surprised every single time, because it's like, how does it keep happening? Like, how does more keep coming out that you're like, this is what this goddess is, and she's about the goddess religion, and you know, squashing the perverted patriarchy, and I'm like, I literally just announced the sacred society. Like, how is this even possible? And then I'm just like, because it's all real.
That is so amazing, because when I was recording hers, I'm like, you know, talking to you in the recording, but I'm also like talking to you like as if you're right there. And I'm like, oh girl, I know you know this already, but we're just going to have fun.
I know you kept saying that, and I was like, I don't know it all. Just say it.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it. That's so exciting.
I know. Oh, it's so good. If you guys have not had that 3-part done yet, what the hell are you waiting for? I'm not kidding. It's like for everyone that has it done, it's just like, it just like wakes you up. I know why you haven't done it, because y'all are scared. You're scared to know what your soul purpose is, because then you're going to have to do something about it. That means moving up out of your comfort zone, going out there, being seen, doing the inner work so it doesn't get magnified. Like, you're going to have to work at it, and you don't want to. That's why you're not doing it. That's the only reason, right? I mean, that's the only logical reason. That's the only reason that I'm like, okay, I kind of get it, but you got to get up. Come on.
Yeah. It's going to be okay. Really. It's really going to be okay. It's really.
You're going to do it anyway. Like, you have to. If you don't do it, the universe is going to make you do it. You're either going to do it in the fun, magical, fairy way, or you're going to do it in the hard, lonely way. But either way, you're doing it.
Right, because the universe is going to come kick your butt if you're not like, come on, we want you up over here right now.
Yeah, and you know what it does at first? It says, there's something more. See that person with all that wealth? You want it. You can have it. There's more than this. There's more to life than this. That's what it sounds like. And then it's like, then you just start creating shit in your life. You just start creating problems because you're like only focused in the 3D. Like, gotta look up. There's a plan, and it's so much easier than you think.
Sister Randina's got it down. She's got the universe's number. It's awesome.
Well, because I got beat the fuck up too many times. So I was like, all right, already. I'll listen.
Surrender, monkey's uncle. Okay, I get it.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, monkey's uncle. God, I'm probably dating myself. It might be like an old saying.
Dating yourself is good. I'm dating myself right now. Let's just change the context. I'm dating myself right now. Dating yourself looks good. Dating yourself looks good on you, Shannon. Looks good on you. Okay. Let's get into it.
We'll get serious now.
Okay, I love this. This is awesome. All right. So here we are connecting with our hearts. right? Like always connecting with our hearts, connecting in the sacred space, allowing yourself to have fun with life and receive all the answers that you are meant to receive. Take it away, Shannon.
Wow, that was an awesome. I'm all fidgety with the lights and making sure I'm not like in the dark over here.
I had way too much pre-workout and I just got back from the gym, so I'm a little, my energy is like, ground, Randina, ground. Do the lights, ground.
But I love that. That is like so perfect for sacral chakra astrology.
Yeah, well, tell me how.
That's passion and purpose like mixed together. Like you revved up your body, right? Revved it up. You're wearing beautiful red and like you're ready to go. You've been like on the treadmill or you've been like squatting like 50, 60 pounds. Building the gluteus maximus. So now we're ready to be like, that has lit the fire of the second chakra. So this is so fun. How exciting. Thank you for doing that.
I know, right? Thank you for the inspiration.
You're welcome.
I'm training for an Olympic event here, apparently.
Yeah, I think so. And what a perfect person to be like on the Olympic team representing us, showing us the way, inspiring to get to the gym.
Yes, let's go, everyone. Let's all develop our butts, and we all have. We can take a behind picture in Hawaii.
Right? No, the guy's like taking like, okay, let's take group photo. We all turn around.
Yeah, I could feel some of the women saying, "Oh,
yeah,
come on,
like,
ladies, you got till July."
I know, right? We got like 5 months.
We're going on the dolphin swim. Remember, that means your all asses are going to be in bathing suits.
Exactly. So we could do this, ladies. We could do. I'm in there with you.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You all look good anyway.
Exactly.
Butts are always pretty.
Body, you look good. You don't have
your
to worry.
butt's unique.
Yeah, everybody wants it, so don't even worry about it. So for our sacral chakra, as
you know what's funny is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is all about that sex energy. It's probably why we're like gravitating to the butt.
right, because that's
butt stuff.
If you go down to where like the second chakra is located, like 2 fingers below the belly button, you're going to hit the rear end on the other side and you're going to come into
2 fingers. I'm sorry.
You can tell I don't have a lot of fire in my chart because I'm like, you're behind, right? Because I can see your ass in the back, like the junk in the trunk.
There you go. Loosen it up. Loosen it up.
See, that's why I need my sister Andina to help me out over here.
I could be so perverted right now, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna like have my G rated. There's probably children watching me right now.
Oh, so whoops. So 2 fingers below your belly button. We're entering the sacred goddess.
Make sure you say exactly how far below your belly button. Oh, it's 2 fingers below your belly button. I thought you were saying with 2 fingers somewhere below your belly button.
Right? As I was doing that, I'm like, oh my God, that's like a really, like, what am I trying to teach here?
How are you going to talk yourself out of this one, Shannon?
No, I'm going to be like, backtrack, get out of that. Background girl.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. See how fun the second chakra is?
Yes.
The ultimate universe, right? Here we come. Literally. We're coming in. And we're going to explore this beautiful, beautiful universe of our secrets.
Yes.
And that's one of the things too. Like, I have not birthed a baby physically in this lifetime, and I know many of you have. And I was reading that, there's, according to the ancient texts, like birth was supposed to be this ecstatic, orgasmic experience. Having this baby coming out of there, right? And you're thinking, how is that possible?
I'm like, wait, take me to that time because I need to program some shit.
Right?
I need to connect with some past life where that was a reality.
Right. But I was reading about, I forgot, somebody may have posted it in like one of the groups or lifestyle group or something, or maybe on Power of Women. I saw it somewhere on Facebook, but I guess there was a king or a sultan or a pharaoh, somebody wanted to see the birth process, because normally it was women and the midwives, and it was a sacred temple that you went to birth your baby, and he wanted to see, so he had her lay on her back so he could have a view. And I guess all the time it's always been standing up and squatting, allowing opening your crown chakra so the goddess can come through, and then it's like out comes the baby.
You can have a whole prenatal training course on this.
I know, right? Yeah. So there's this whole experience of like preparing your physical body to actually birth a universe, which is a child.
Wow, you really are birthing a universe. We were just talking about that. We're like walking around in public looking at all these different people, and my daughter's boyfriend was like, it's so weird, everybody's like in control of their own reality. I'm like, yeah, it's like we're millions of universes just walking around amongst each other. And I'm like, it's like we're all gods of our own universe. And he's like, yeah, we really are. He's like, it's kind of scary.
But what a cool, profound, deep thought in that moment to really see, like, that's really the truth.
It really is.
Yeah. So here we are, like birthing this universe, whether it's a physical child, a business, a passion, a soul purpose, what is it that you're creating? But the planet in astrology associated with the second chakra is Pluto.
I love Pluto.
I know, right? Hello, Pluto.
I love them all, actually.
Pluto's such a little planet. Like, what's the big deal about Pluto? But Pluto is furthest out that we know of in the solar system, right? It takes 12 to 18 years to go through one sign. So, mainstream Muggle world calls it a generation. But, we call it like, ooh, you're from a wave of souls coming to give this karmic gift to humanity as part of your soul purpose and your evolution. So isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So when we go into the second chakra, we're really holding that space for Pluto, which is the gateway to our soul. And we open that doorway and our soul energy comes through. And that's why we experience like ecstasy from our second chakra in our physical bodies, because we're actually opening up to the universe.
I always knew it. Every time I always called it the gateway to the universe, and I never even realized that was a real thing, that it's a really true thing. So you have validating that for me.
I know you as your soul probably wrote that down as a sacred teaching that we now find, and we're like, oh my God, look, what is this? And Renee's like, yeah, I took notes on that like thousands of years ago.
Apparently.
Right?
That's so funny.
Yeah, so Pluto's so important because it holds like our soul energy, which is vast and infinite. It's like a universe unto itself. And then it's also the place where it's a seat of our desires. So really, like when you have an attraction to another soul, and then that soul is attracted to you, and you join forces, join universes, and now comes another universe, right? And so really it's the energy of that desire that brings you two souls together, your two universes together through that second chakra. And so and that's also how we create. So Pluto, it says you're either in like your desires, which actually are like language of your soul, language of the universe, that's asking for creation to happen, whether it's a baby or a universe, right?
The cool thing is that like in a man, their positive pole is in their heart. So they're like sending energy, from their heart. And so for women, our negative pole, or their positive pole is in their penis, actually. Their penis pole is the positive, and the negative is their heart. So the penis is the positive, and in the woman, in the sacral, it's that pulling, receiving, right? Like that receiving energy that pulls the positive into it to create the life. And then the breasts are the positive pole, the heart is the giving energy. And then in the man, the receiving energy, their negative pole is in their heart. So when we love a man from our heart to their heart, they receive it, right? And then it like creates this like cycle. It's so cool that it's like that, even like in astrology stuff.
Yeah, that is so beautiful, because it's like the ultimate yin and yang. right? Where that negative pulls the positive and the positive pulls the negative, and it's just like going, you know, continually forever and ever and ever, and it will never need energy because it's its own source of energy. It just keeps growing and expanding, and more of that, please.
Yeah, that's why all the women need to get their shit balanced, and all the men need to get their shit balanced, so we can create what we're supposed to create, an unhindered love sexual experience, like throughout all of life.
Yes, and that is so beautiful, Randina, of you to say it in that way, because when I look at when I look at your Pluto, right, from your chart, your soul purpose, you came in on the wave of souls from Libra. Libra's about balance, relationship. Get your shit together, people. Like we're supposed to be like coming into a harmonic, orgasmic experience as a human race. Yeah. So here we get to see Randina doing, you know, fulfilling her soul's promise.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm getting my shit together. That's what I'm doing right now. Getting my shit together. It's like almost there. Like,
oh yeah, girl. Oh, you're so far ahead of yourself. Yeah, you just go like this, you know, this. Yeah, there you go. I love it.
That's funny.
All right. So what we're learning through the second chakra is through astrology and just connected to our Pluto, we get like this 2-for-1. We get connected to like our desires from a soul place. Like, what did we come in here to create? But we also, the universe is so benevolent, right? Says, hey, when you connect to your desires, you actually evolve. You actually evolve and expand your whole soul self.
You really do. You really, really do. When you connect to that and you believe in it and you like become that version that's holding that space, you become more. You vibrate higher. You have access to different thought forms. You have a deeper connection with the universe. Spirit aligns things for you faster. It really is that beautiful symphony that occurs.
Exactly. Yeah, it's symphony, it's a music, it's like the music of the spheres you activate it from that place of your own desires and fulfilling them. And then as you're fulfilling them, you're also sending out like this broadcast of attraction, right? So now we're in the vortex of attraction.
Yeah.
And it's not about like, oh, I'm going to create it or I'm going to align with it.
Yeah.
And the things that you're attracted to or that you really desire from a heart and soul place, right? So heart and womb place, that is because it's yours. It's not random.
Right.
It's not,
I know it's not.
making it up.
Nothing is random.
Nothing is random, right? So just allow yourself or give yourself the permission, all those ladies watching, that, you know, your desires are so valuable, important, and connect to them. Let yourself have desire.
The beautiful thing is that when you have a heart desire, not a desire for something to get out of something, but like a really genuine heart desire, that is the only desire, feeling it fulfilled, that you have to focus on for everything else to begin to come to you too. So this is what people do when we have 5 areas of life and 4 are going really well and 1 isn't going good. We focus on that one that isn't going good, so then all the other ones start to suck. Right? And then when we have, let's say we have all 4 areas going bad, it's 4, 4, 4. Woo! All 4 areas, as I say 4 areas are going bad and 1's going good. If you go in and focus on that 1 good, then the rest, because when you're focusing on that 1 good, you're then in your intuitive brain and now you're connected to the solution of the problems of all this, the solutions to everything. Yes. So it's really a beautiful dance.
Yeah, so that beautiful explanation of like your heart's desire. Now that's taking it from, oh, I'm just desiring because I want it in the now, because I could possibly be trying to fill a void where I don't feel good enough. So I'm going to go and I'm going to buy myself that new car because I have to validate myself. And it's like, okay, that's a desire or want, but look at where it's coming from. Is it coming from that clean, pure place of connecting to the universe from your heart, which is your heart's going to get you into that space.
And sustain it and grow it, because you can get what you want even out of the false desires, but then it's going to be something else and something else and something else and something else until you fill from within.
Exactly, right? And so that's kind of like, you know, that saying, oh, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it, you know?
That's the second time I heard this today. I'm like, I don't care. I'm still wishing for it.
Yeah, like there's no need to be afraid of your
Yeah.
desires, especially like when, or Dean Randine says we connect it with our heart space, because then you've got the negative positive polarity, right? So
Yeah.
it's in alignment with your intuitive self, your vortex creation, all of that, your soul energy. So if someone says, oh yeah, be careful what you want, you're like, yeah, I'm excited because I believe and I'm not afraid of myself or my desire or my power.
If someone says that, I'd be like, sorry, you scared. You stay there. I'm going.
All those who want to be like hanging out with me, not be afraid and be excited about what's coming. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but when I heard that statistic that 8 out of 10 people die with regret, I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah,
That will not be me. I don't care how scared I am. I'm doing it.
Right, exactly. Because Randina is an Aries, and even if she's scared, she's going to do it anyway because she has courage. And guess where her courage comes from? Her heart.
My vagina. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God! You're a JJ. I love it.
Kind of kidding.
Right, but hey, if you're in alignment with your positive pole and your negative pole, then like, why not?
Yes, I love all parts of me.
Exactly. And that's just another wonderful way to say, okay, I love all of me. I'm not going to cut myself in half, maybe because I grew up with a religion that said, oh my God, don't even touch yourself. Don't do this. Don't do that. Bad. You're going to go, heaven or hell, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Don't cut yourself.
Well, see, if they would have said heaven, they would have been right. But they didn't.
Right. That was my Freudian slip. Yeah, you will go to.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Because if you're having an orgasm, you are connecting with God, heaven, universe, because that's our bodies are designed to experience pleasure because this earth is a place of pleasure.
Yeah, well, I could see why they wanted to cut us off from that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, and I think that goes back, to, the ancient religions and the matriarchal society, and really the original Eve, if we want to just use, religion and the Bible for a sec, but the original Eve was Lilith. And I even have a book about Lilith. I'll show you her picture because she's so cool. But look it's her second chakra. Is the cover of the book.
Yeah.
And so she's the original Eve, the one they kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Really.
She was too sexy, that's why.
Yeah, she was too sexy for the Bible. Right? So they got to get rid of her. And then, that's when they cut us all in half. Men too. They're not connecting with their hearts and their positive polarity.
Well,
right?
I was thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking about, because I was in the gym actually, and Annalisa said something about an imbalance or something about a woman who was too masculine. And I was like, don't do that to the masculine. That's not even fair. And then I'm like, see, I can see now how they get a fucking rap shit sheet because it's just like the founding forefathers of America, like they had slaves and they were like white old men, and like I have white in me, but I don't relate with that. And so I'm like, hey, all white people are scorned with all this bullshit now because of that. It's the same thing for men. Like they're not the ones that did it to women, but like we're still like, men are dicks, like men are dogs, like all this stuff. It's like, no, they're not. You're only attracting that because you got those matching patterns, honey. Like, it's not about that. You got to change your thing. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, now I can see why all these people always ask me, oh, you have Power Woman. Why don't you work with men? Like, do you know how many men? Like, I have male clients. It's like, why don't you work with men? And all the psychics are like, you're going to be working with men too. It's going to happen. And at first I'm like, no, because, they just would think they were in love with me. That's really why I was just like, can't do it anymore.
Right. Yeah. These word stalkers would come out of the woodwork,
Yeah. But then it was like, now, like, that's where I was vibrating then because I had imbalanced sexuality. It's not like that anymore. Like, it's like soul to soul recognition condition. I know how to control my energy and all that stuff. And so now that I'm like in this space, I can see it. And I'm like, it's so true. It's like, the men are being punished for something that their forefathers did that have nothing to do with them.
That is a really good point because, because we're still in the blame game, playing that blame game for like thousands of years. But I think it's really cool too. Like as you work with powerful woman, you're also indirectly working with men because you're bringing women up to a place of wholeness,
Yeah.
so that they will then get that, easily see that message that says, oh, it's not the men's fault. They're not the dogs and this and that. And if they are, they really need they're wounded. And they need some healing. So we don't need to keep like hitting them over the head with,
most of them are wounded by the feminine, they're a lot of them come from moms who are single mothers because they were attracting abusive relationships, or for whatever the reason, still their attraction. So then they teach these boys how to be men, when a woman doesn't know how to teach a boy how to be a man. Like, she can teach him enough. Only a balanced male can teach a boy how to be a man, and there weren't really even any of those. So we just got to create our own selves to be that way for future generations.
Right, because then they'll begin to match and train when we're like, women are in their wholeness, passion, desire, empowerment. Then we will entrain and give permission for the men to rise up and do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because the Pluto energy that's also in men's second chakra, as well as women's second chakra, is about changing and transforming.
Mm-hmm.
So we can look at, look at your Pluto sign, which will be really easy, like in your group, because there'll only be like maybe 3, 4 at the most of the signs. So we could really explore that Pluto, because it's a generation, it's like 12 to 18 years. So it spans like great amount of time that, that we're used to. Mm-hmm. But it is about, I come in on a soul level through my Pluto gateway, through the birth canal of my mother, which is her second chakra. So I was housed in there, I was created in there, and then I came on through, down through there, right? So we can't get away from the second chakra. But it's really about how, when we connect to our desires, and then connect to our heart's desires, and then be in alignment with our vortex of creation, then we can change and transform, because we're now outside of the void. Because in the basic way of the second chakra power, I mean, it's so powerful, it creates a body.
Yeah.
Right. So most people, like, if they're not in Power of a Woman or awakening to asking, like, what's the real truth, and looking at the shopping mall and going, oh my God, these are universes walking around. They don't even know it. Yeah. The basic power that they'll connect to in the second or sacral chakra is reproduction. Mm. Yeah. And, especially young people, really good at that. They're very good at that. And they got all their hormones, rushing around. And so it's just a natural attraction, and that happens. Yeah. Until, we might give them a mindset that says, don't do that because we're afraid. Don't be, get this disease or safeguard yourself. And there's all these wonderful messages, depending on, as long as it's coming from the heart. Yeah.
I know, isn't it so weird that we're like not even taught about the beautiful aspects of sex, that we're taught all the scary bad things, and then it's like women wonder why they're not having sex that's fulfilling them. It's like, this is what we're taught, all the bad things about sex. How can we have a good time if that's what we're taught?
Yeah, if you could just think of all the things that you were taught that were negative or bad or scary or fearful, it's like this dark universe, like you're in a black hole. It's like, let's get out of the black hole and get into like this beautiful bursting nebula of colors and beauty and just, shapes and forms, like, where anything is possible. All that potential.
They like teach you that it's not good, but then at the same time, you want to learn about it for yourself because you kind of know that part of them is lying. So like, then you turn it into an imbalanced experience where it's like men don't even know how to make love to women, right? Did you read that book, the Orgasmic Tantra for Women?
I've been seeing it in the group. I gotta get it.
I'm telling you, it's about so much more than just intercourse. Like, that's not even the main part of it. It's about how what makes the man an amazing lover is pleasing the woman, right? Because he's going to be pleased no matter what. If he is making sure that she's pleased in a way where he knows, because they're not taught how to navigate a woman's body. We don't even know how to navigate our own bodies.
Right?
Yeah. So like just learning and educating yourself on it is going to be one of the biggest things for everybody that's listening right now, because it's really, really important to make that a beautiful experience, a beautiful aspect of your life, because it's so important. Even Napoleon Hill talks about sex transmutation. If you could learn how to use that energy within yourself to create that experience, you can learn to channel it to other areas of your life too and create success in every area. You have to be well balanced and rounded. And when a person is really congruent and whole in their sexuality and not afraid to talk about it and want to explore it, life is so much more fun.
Oh, exactly. Because then you can have the opportunity, or you make the space to have an ecstatic union of these forces, Shiva, Shakti. Like these are the forces of the universe that like collide and make and birth universes.
Yeah, right? And apparently it's better for everyone. Like even men have better orgasms. So like, let's just everyone do it collectively.
Right? Like, maybe it's a big fat lie that men only have one orgasm per, experience. Maybe they're supposed to have the multiple orgasms too, like the ladies.
I would hope so.
Right? And maybe the orgasm really isn't ejaculation. Maybe it's something totally different.
Yeah.
And men can explore that through, through the tantra, the breathing, and all kinds of goodies. Right?
Yeah. That book is so good. Like
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, you have to, because it's about so much more than just that.
Yeah, because like if we look at, because Pluto, that energy is, that force is sitting in that chakra, right? That sacral second chakra. And we can connect, remember we're body, mind, spirit, right? So we have all these layered multi-dimensions to us. So the body, that's one layer. So getting to know your body, getting to know how your body works, and opening up to like what the body is capable of expressing through pleasure and joy and creation. And then you can get into the mental understanding of it. Like, what are these forces at work and what are the energies really about? And then you can get into the spiritual sense, which is like, oh my gosh, I am embodying a goddess, the Shakti, and he is embodying the Shiva, the god, right? Or if it's two women or two men together, I mean, it's all the same. But we embody that on all those levels. And then we can really experience like the power of it. Because we do have a wave of souls here on the planet now who have their Pluto in its ruling sign, Scorpio.
Watch out.
Thank you, ladies and men who are part of the Scorpio and Pluto generation, the millennials, right? Because they're coming in to go, oh, I don't have... you guys all have these weird hang-ups about sex. We don't care. We're open up. We're exploring because we're about power. Yeah. We want to take our power back. We're supposed to here to help men and women, humanity, take their power back. It's been usurped by religion. It's been usurped by all these institutions of marriage, right? So we don't even know what it is anymore. And so the millennials have come to say, we've come to save the day, literally. We're going to show you how this is done with our hands tied behind our backs, blindfolds on, like 50 Shades of Grey. We don't care. We're open. We're going to check it out. Yeah. Right? But the trick with the millennials, now they're born 1984 to 1995. Okay, so ladies, if you're watching and you're like, that's me. Okay, you're Pluto Scorpio. Congratulations. So you're the ruling energy of Pluto's Pele power, right? This volcano of creation. So what the Pluto and Scorpio generation or wave of souls need is they need a spiritual awakening. That's why I'm like, oh, girls, you need to find Randina Marie because she's going to help you. Because you need a spiritual awakening, because they will be successful at a very young age in the material world. They'll be like, yeah, I go to work and, at a tech company and I wear my pajamas and I play ping pong and I get paid like $1 million a year. You don't? Oh, why? I don't get it, right? Because it's nothing to them. They're just playing in this energy because they come with a lot of power. Yeah. But in order to really give their gifts, because they're here to transform and redistribute power on the planet, and by saying F you to the establishment, like giving the big fingers, like, no, we're not doing that. Sorry. Gun laws? Oh, we're making our own laws, right? That kind of stuff. And so, so they need that spiritual awakening so they can get beyond the material world experience. And when they connect to the beauty and the power of they can give birth to a universe by understanding themselves, body, mind, spirit, then their real power shows up because they are full-on alchemists, transform wizards and witches. Like they're like, let me help you get out of the underworld of your suffering and get over into the rainbow bridge, which is peace, paradise, pleasure, joy, abundance, plenty for all, right?
Yeah.
everybody has their unalienable rights to the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Right? Everybody has what they need.
Yeah.
Beyond survival. They have everything they need to thrive.
Yeah.
Right. And so Randina Marie, she comes in this beautiful, powerful chart, this Saturn retrograde, this Pluto retrograde. She's ready to step off the wheel of suffering this lifetime. This is your graduation.
Yeah.
And I think you've graduated. You decided to come back and help us out.
That must be it. I felt like that.
So you said, when I go back, I want to get awakened early. I don't want to wake up in my 50s or 60s. I'm waking up in my 20s, my early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they said, okay, we'll make sure things come along in your life all throughout your life, so you never forget who you are, so that you can wake up early, so you can enjoy your life, and be about your business.
Thank you to my soul.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Good job. And thanks for coming back. We know you already had your graduation, and you said, well, my gifts could really help at this time.
It was nothing.
Exactly. So some of the ladies watching, and check in with your husbands, check in with your good friends. You might be from Randina's Way of Souls, Pluto in Libra. That's 1972 to 1984. So if you were born in that time, you were like, hey, that's a beautiful wave of harmony and balance, learning about relationships, coming on in. Sometimes relationships means, I got to let you fall on your face.
Yeah, couple times.
Right. Yeah, because the beauty of Pluto and Libra souls is that they have to learn to listen, and they have to listen to spirit first of all. Because sometimes if we jump in because we're kind, compassionate, healing people, souls, right, we might leap in and we might take someone's opportunity to grow from them. Not from a bad place, but from, I want to help. I'll jump in and I'll rescue you. But oops, you were supposed to get that lesson because it was going to change your life forever. So it takes a lot of courage to be able to stand there and watch somebody fall.
Yeah, and I have to do it, especially in where I'm at, like with all the women that I'm watching. See, fortunately, I'm at a place where I already did that trip like 5,000 times. So I know what happens when you finally stop allowing yourself to fall like that, And it's not hard for me to watch anymore because I understand exactly what it is, like what's going on, what's going to happen, and how the women who are doing that, who are experiencing those experiences, are so resilient that their soul chose it. Their soul chose it.
Yeah, that's another beauty of Libra, because you're ruled by Venus in that energy. So you have this calm, elegant sense of refinement that says, I will always find my balance. Because Venus is like, I am not going to be out of bounds for too long. I'm not designed that way. I can't do it. I can't live in like ugliness. I have to have beauty. I have to have feng shui, else I'm going to get really annoying.
It's so true. And I was listening to Abraham, and they were talking about how when you get like Esther, how when she gets out of alignment, it's like getting hit by a Mack truck, and she like does whatever she can, and it really is like that. If I feel like I'm kind of starting to dip, I'm like, okay, I need to either take a nap, I need to go meditate, I need to do something, elevate my vibration. Like it's an instant thing so that I can get back to that. You get to a point where it's not this unconscious, where you just feel like shit and you don't know why. Like you're so conscious of what you're thinking.
Yeah. Like your soul is so attuned to balance. And when you feel out of balance, or it feels like a record scratching, like you're like, oh wait, that note is out of tune. That feels horrible. I got to make sure it gets back in tune. Mm-hmm. So, and that's one of the gifts that you and that wave of souls brings is the beauty of harmony and balance. And okay, I finding the balance. Where am I with this other sacred soul contract, right? Libra rules soul contracts. So where am I with that space? If I go over too much, then it tips the seesaw. Oh, I have to back it up and it balances. Oh, he's coming too close. Oh, now I'm like this. And you're like, go away from me. And so he goes away and then it comes like this. So it's really just finding this nice, and then it becomes an ocean wave.
Yeah.
You don't want this. That's too stormy. We're storming up. We want it now. Like this. So it feels so good. Like I'm just, I'm sailing in my life.
Yeah. I think the real liberating thing is learning that it's me. It's always about me. It's always me. It's my inner world. It's not the other person. If something's triggering me, I need to either figure out why or be okay with letting it go. Like and most people are like outside, like you did this, you did that, it's your fault. No, 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 no. And so they create the crazy conflict in their realities. But when you can really learn to have that really deep interpersonal relationship with yourself, like everything in your life is better. Everything.
Yes. And yeah. And then you go through the world balancing other people because you carry this beautiful balance within yourself. It's like you're like your own Tibetan or crystal singing bowl. So like when you're in that beautiful harmonic balance, you're in the grocery store getting some apples and all of a sudden it's like, just because you're there, somebody's like, whoa, I'm feeling very much synchronized now.
Like, is that why everyone stares at me when I walk in the door?
Well, that and among probably some other things. But yeah, but you have a Pluto retrograde. That was one of the other things I wanted to talk. When the ladies, when you look in your chart, if you have a little R next to your Pluto, so that means you came in on the wave of souls when Pluto was making an elliptical turn around the sun, and it's said to be retrograde or going backwards. So that is, when I see that in the chart, I'm like, that's when I know it's graduation time. So that's when you say, oh my gosh, I've come in with almost like I as a soul said, I'm going to repay a karmic debt for humanity because I have evolved in my experiences in that material world, in that third dimension. Mm-hmm. And I've come to a place of, oh, I know better. And I know it so much that I will remember even in the third dimension, which is all about amnesia. Like, who am I? Where am I? Kind of thing. And so when I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, your gifts are so big at the soul level because you've already evolved to that place. And then you come back. It's almost like, oh, is this the last final exam? So when you remember it and you wake up, it is so powerful. It can move mountains. Mm-hmm. And then you also begin to repay a debt that, if you think about all the cause and effect, all the karma that's been created for eons, all these lifetimes of all the souls on the planet, mm-hmm. You're like, you know what? You're like, I'm so wealthy, I can pay that with my spiritual dollars. I'm going to pay that like karmic debt and cha-ching, paid in full.
That is funny.
Isn't that funny?
Yes. I love it. That really also because I'm always telling every woman, this isn't just about you, right? Like this is about every single ancestor that came before you and every, descendant that's coming after, all your children. Like this is literally about even your future lifetimes. It's like a real thing.
It's a real thing because if you think about like the multidimensional, like if there is no such thing as time on a linear, but it's all happening in the now, and your future lifetimes are also happening in the now, right?
Yeah, and if you change one thing on one level, it affects the whole.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have those moments of deja vu?
Yeah.
Right? Like you're like every day.
Yeah. If I don't, then I'll say, I really would like to have deja vu. And then it happens again. Yeah.
I was reading recently about just a different... another explanation of what that is. And they were saying it's when you've made a shift and you've like grown and expanded. So you shifted something or you cleared something or you like balanced some karma or something. What happens is that you step into a higher dimension. And then when you're walking through that life, you meet up with the old version of yourself also walking through. And it's really a signal that says you've shifted in some way because you don't have to. You've already lived it on another dimension mm-hmm. of your old self, or maybe like a lower frequency part of you before you made that shift, or you grew, or you changed, or you had that mm-hmm. aha. So I thought, oh, that's so interesting to go. Oh my gosh, I just met like an old version of myself, and I know I've been there before because this is an accelerated version of me. And so it just tripped my mind out. I loved it.
Yeah, I love things like that too. Yeah, I really do. So tell us about how we can best use the energies that are happening right now. I know we just had the new moon with the eclipse, so that was the time for new moon wishes. So now's the intention for now. It's all about your value and it's about your soul purpose and it's about monetarily being compensated for that. and it's not an accident.
It is not an accident. You can say that again.
Yeah, it's not an accident.
It's not an accident. So when we had the new moon, and bravo, wonderful job, everybody who did Randina's new moon ritual was so awesome. I was seeing all the wonderful postings on Facebook. I was like, yes, awesome.
I know.
So what happened? So you're all under that umbrella of the new moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is about the future, your highest hopes and dreams, creating, like, you know, you created a future now, in the now, when you were present with that new moon and how you connected to it. Now you joined forces and Randina helped you in that space. Like, oh my God, that's so amazing. You just shifted like a timeline of your future possibilities. Mm-hmm. So during that, there was also a solar eclipse. Mm-hmm. Something ended on the full moon in Leo on the 31st of January. And then something opened up, like a universal, like, opening of a future opened up that's going to develop over the next 6 months.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it, you know, doing all the IMs in the mirror, and like when I'm working out and really embodying that version of myself that's my inner being that I know who is, and feeling into that reality and that experience. It's really interesting around the eclipse time, and now is like the residual of like the old energy. I can feel it. So a lot of it had to do with stepping up into who I truly am, and like showing, you know, myself, like, this is me, I love me, I'm comfortable with me, you know, and like really flowing into that, where when I was little, I was always hiding because I was picked on, and, you know, and people my energy with, you know, the sexuality and like all these kind of things. So it was like a really, really dense life that caused me to hide. Remember, you even said, you know, something happened religion wise around 7 and it caused you to shut off. And I was just like, that is so true, because that's what happened. And of course it would be coming around now, like with the goddess religion energy kind of experience. It's like the same kind of thing, right? Like overturning. And I can feel, as I'm living my reality, the pockets of old energy that come up to be cleansed out. So it's really interesting when you begin to become so conscious of the energy in your body, and the consciousness level that you're living at, and the dimension that you're at, and the awareness of that, and like cycling it through. Because a lot of times if we're not conscious and that's happening, we get stuck on it, right? Like an old memory pops up, we get stuck on it, we emotionalize it, we become it again. Mm-hmm. So it's like that learning to just allow those things to pass through. So what I'm going to say for everybody who is watching this, old energy coming back up, let it go. Like, become the observer in the situation. Old memories, let it go. Like, create a channel of light so that it can just kind of like flow through. And you can do this even in like mid-argument. And sometimes people look at you like you're really fucking weird, but you just don't even care, right? You're just like, just letting it flow through. And then you change the whole dynamic of the entire conversation. So you just changed your future.
Literally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, when you understand what is happening, or understand reality from that place, there's no time for anything else. Yeah. You are absorbing all these like incoming information. Right?
You have so many like synchronicities and serendipities and beautiful magical moments to like keep you moving, that you're just like, that's like so old. Like, this is where I'm at. I mean, even you just saying that right now is like synchronicity, because it's exactly a message.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So we had the new moon, the solar eclipse, and there was one more thing. There was a
what?
There was there was a 3-pointed goddess sextile.
What?
Totally. And then
does it have anything to do with sex, or is that just the word?
It's just the word, but how fitting. Basically, it means it's a 3-pointed star. That is the top part of a Star of David, or Merkaba. Mm. So we have this opportunity to tune in exactly to our Merkaba over this next 6 months. So we had 3 goddesses, and you're going to love the goddess who's the apex goddess, the one that's in the crown chakra. You're going to love this. Randina, it's perfect.
What is it?
It has to do with Hawaii.
Pele.
Close. Yes. It's Venus in Pisces.
would never have guessed that. Paleo was all I got.
I'm sorry. I thought it would be like this crescendo. You know? You're like,
sorry. It's like,
so Venus, when she goes into Pisces, right? Pisces, she becomes the mermaid. And so the mermaid energy really is the higher octave of Venus as our physical goddess. When she arrives on the clamshell, you know, Botticelli's Venus, and she's like, "Hi, I was born holistic, and I don't have any baggage. I'm a goddess, the goddess of love."
Like, good for you.
Right. So when she moves into Pisces, she goes back into the ocean, and she transforms, evolves into the mermaid self, which is basically, we think, oh, she must have left the ocean and evolved. You know, when they say, oh, we left the ocean and came onto land and that was evolution, is no. Actually going back to the sea. Going back to
the way you said it was like, yeah, you fucking idiots.
Darwin, I don't think so. They're teaching all this stuff in class, and it's like, no, that was actually de-evolution. We have to go return to the ocean.
You know what I love about Darwin, though? Why he's so brilliant? Because he was like, this is going to change. It's always evolving. Everything's always evolving. Everything's always growing. Do not take my word for it. It's not set in stone. Like that's what I like. Everyone just wants to be pissed at Darwin.
I know, right?
He's
well,
so
you know
awesome.
what? I'm so happy you brought up, don't be mad at Darwin, because actually there's a theory going around that said that a lot of his books were deleted and not shared with the world.
Yeah, probably because he was right.
He was right about the feminine energy of nature. So he wrote, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 books on his observations of the emotional nature of animals. And so they deleted it so that...
Well, yeah, because in the animal kingdom, the female is, hello, look at the lioness. Not a word needs to be said more.
Exactly, right? But it also kind of tricked us into thinking that animals aren't conscious, sentient beings. They can't feel. So then we put them into hell, in the slaughterhouses. We kill them. We don't have any understanding or regard for their life. So like those kinds of things are like the unfortunate consequences of not allowing us to have access to the whole picture. So, but we're getting back to that. We're cleaning up the act here. We're going, we don't, you know, we could go vegan. We don't actually, or we can eat less meat, or we can get our meat from, you know, humane sources, and, you know, we can eat less of that. Now, like, there's companies coming out where, you know, basically eating meat will be a big thing of the past when they've created like plant-based meats, right? So people that have the taste for it, they don't have to be so sad, right? They could still have that experience, but nobody has to die.
Right.
You know,
and not riddled with adrenaline and cortisol and all those stress hormones of genetically modified beasts.
Yes. So hopefully that will just be on its way out, and we never to be seen again or heard from again, right?
Yes.
We don't want to free liberate.
It will. It just makes sense. They just have to come up with something better.
Right, exactly. And so the consciousness that created the issue isn't the consciousness to solve it. It's a higher consciousness coming in that looks outside the box and goes, oh, check this out. Isn't this cool? Yeah. And so that's what's kind of happening now. And that's what the Venus in Pisces is saying, because Neptune rules Pisces. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, like in sound healing. So we're raising our feminine goddess energy more into that higher conscious sense of, okay, what is goddess when she's shifting even her physical body? And that's what the mermaid says. Well, let me give you a tail, and let me, you know, have you swim in the ocean for eons, and let me make you magical, right? And now how do you feel about the goddess? What is she like in that energy? So it's all about like lifting up to a higher consciousness. So with the new moon, solar eclipse, Aquarius, this window of 6 months, now we got this goddess Merkaba showing up. One of the goddesses is Lilith in Capricorn. This is going to speak to Randina because she's really helping women be badass business owners.
Yeah.
Right?
Life owners.
Yes. Because Lilith, remember, she's the original Eve. She's the ancient feminine. She's in Capricorn, meaning I'm going to redistribute the power. I'm the new authority. I'm the new sheriff in town. I'm my public self up out in the world saying, hello, I am intelligent, inspired, wise, and I operate through the feminine energy, which is support and collaboration. And I do it like a wild beast, right? I am so about like collaborating. I'm going to do it like so wild. It's going to be massively successful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we got Lilith there. We got Venus as the mermaid, and Pisces bringing us this higher evolved awareness of unconditional love and unity consciousness. And then the third arm is Pallas Athena, goddess of wisdom. And she is in Taurus. And Taurus is all Venus, sensuality, earth body. And she's like, you know, I'm the goddess of wisdom and the appointed ambassador for Gaia, Mother Earth, right? So she's all eat less meat, take care of your environment, tell those companies if they're polluting to stop it, right? Because she's like, oh no, wisdom is here. I honor and value the sustainability of life on this planet. What do I have to do now to ensure the sustainability 100 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop.
How interesting it is that it's like that desire is waking up in humanity, which is why there are so many people and so many companies who are about sustainability. It's why the public wants to see that, you know, as a sustainably grown. Like that wasn't even they just came out with the bins for recycling when I was little. Like there was not even any recycling. You had to like separate the newspaper cans, milk cartons, like in those bins. Like that was all we had, and now it's like so awesome how fast it's happening. It's really cool.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Because we've got this like higher, so during that solar eclipse, there was that 3-pointed star, but it also connected to invisible forces in the universe. There weren't planets there, but there are points in the universe there that
in the grid.
In the grid, exactly. So in the grid is the, it's under my computer. I was going to show you my Merkaba. But everybody knows what a Merkaba is?
Probably not everybody.
Okay, I have a little picture here. It's like the Star of David, 6-pointed star. Of course, now that I want to show you, I can't find it. Oh, yeah, let's see. Okay, well, I'll post a picture. But, so it's a 6-pointed star, right? Heaven coming to earth, and then earth coming to heaven. Okay, and so we want to connect to those invisible forces in the universe. So you can connect all the octaves. So Lilith in Capricorn goes to a spot in the universe in Cancer, because they're the dancing partners. Venus in Pisces goes down to Virgo. They're the dancing partners. And then Pallas Athena in Taurus goes to Scorpio. They're the dancing partners. So what I would love for all of us to do is start to imagine our Merkaba, which is our spiritual body of light, lining up during this next 6 months. And Randina has been so awesome getting your chakras opened up and cleared out, because the apex of the star, crown chakra, root chakra, is the tube of light of prana, right? That is the enlightenment of all the chakras lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your multi-dimensional vehicle of unconditional love that opens this portal for humanity. So ladies, as you do this together, all of us, right, we're going to hold open, be the way showers, Aquarian way showers of this portal of consciousness that's 5th dimension and on, which is unconditional love, empathy, kindness, caring, unity. Let's all be one, the oneness, love, Bob Marley, one love. Come on, let's do it, because it's a lot more fun on this planet when we do.
Yeah, and you get to have all your heart's desires when you do that. Like everything. It takes collaboration. It takes working in community. It takes building relationships to build a successful business, to build a successful career, to build a successful life. Like we all have to work in unity together when we like learn to do that. So in the course, we only have the heart chakra and the throat chakra, and then we have the unison of all the chakras. So in these next 2 months, we're going to be phasing out, done with all the chakras. And so then we're going to have the whole next 4 months of the 6-month cycle to just be in that. It's going to be so awesome. So exciting.
So exciting. And you know what's cool about the sacral chakra is the throat chakra is the echo of what is in your universe, your yoniverse, your sacral chakra of creation, your soul's desires, then gets broadcasted out.
Yeah, that's why we went to sacral first, because we also needed to open up that receiving channel so that all those dreams and desires and intentions that we set at the beginning of the course, that we made our vision boards about,
yeah,
to really flow in even faster and more than they were before.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because everything that you're experiencing with Randina and all her modules is like amplifying one, the next one amplifies the other. So if you need to go back, definitely do that. Like, because this is like the real deal. It's the real deal.
I know, it really is. Sometimes I'm like, okay.
Oh my God, like, what did I create? This is amazing.
No, really, like I just got because I'm taking women through my VIP Soul Purpose Sacred Money course, right? And there's been about 5 that have gone through all the way, and now there's 5 in it, and I'm like seeing what's happening and seeing like really, and even having that connection with the universe about the totality of what I'm meant to do. And that's the part of it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna own this shit because I'm a boss. And this is what I'm doing, because there are so many souls out there that are needing this information, that are needing this unity, that are needing this togetherness. And we have to be the ones that are like shining the light. It's like, we're here, we're here, we're here, so that they can find us. This goes for everybody who has the soul purpose to raise the vibrational collective energy of humanity. So it's time to get shit. Let's go.
Because there are some women out there who have not heard or got connected to Randina, but their soul purpose is connected to Randina, taking that next step, going, okay, I'm the boss, I'm owning this. And then when she does that, it ricochets, and they're like, I now have the opportunity to the next door is open for them. So it's like we're all connected.
Totally, we're all doing it together on the planet. We really are. It's a real thing, the whole Great Awakening. It really is. I mean, you can see it happening.
Yeah, and what blows my mind is like what you've created, and then the ripple effect, and like that's going out and expanding. It's like it really is a calling, because you're what the container you build and that you're holding the space and adding to is like it is part of that awakening. Like the awakening can't happen if you're not doing that.
I know, and that literally goes for everybody. Because I remember when I first realized, when I was first told, from my chart and from psychic readings and from numerology and from meditation, what it was that I was here to do, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go this way. Y'all can figure it out.
Like, oh, what the heck? Oh my God.
I am just gonna stay right here hiding so no one could ever see me.
Right? Especially with that Pisces South node, so sensitive. Like that's way too much attention.
Well, yeah, especially when you've dealt with the kind of life experiences I have. It's like you don't want to do anything but stay hidden because you're safe, right? Yeah. And then you're like, well, I'm not really that safe and this sucks, so I'm bored. Let's just do something about it.
Right, exactly. You're like, I'm safe, but it's boring.
So boring. And it's like, okay, this whole money, receiving money and not really caring about it, like this isn't fun. Like it needs to be valuable. It needs to, and I want to be wealthy in a way that it's like fulfilling, right? Because like I've experienced the wealth from doing something that I didn't really want to do because I was learning how to attract and maintain money. And it's so different when you're doing something that you really love to do, because there's no way you're going to fail at it. You're not going to let yourself.
Exactly. Like there's probably a force that lifts you out of bed in the morning to go and show up in the world.
Yeah. I just love creating. It's like all the things I'm creating. I love creating.
Love creating. And that's like embodying like the Divine Mother Universe principle. Because Divine Mother loves creating too.
Yes, I know.
Right? And this really is a feminine universe. I believe that there's multiple universes and but I really get the sense that the universe that we are in is a feminine universe.
Well, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, like, yeah.
Right, they left us a lot of clues. So
I think it's also like the real masculine too, because that life force energy, when you're really in tune with that life force energy, it's not male or female. It's like power, and it comes through the flower, right? It comes like in Hawaii, you can feel it. You can feel the island alive. You're in another dimension the minute you go through that timeline, that time portal switch. Like the minute the time changes, you're literally in like magical land, when you're like there in that experience of it, and you can feel the life force energy there.
Life force is like the combo of the Shiva Shakti.
It is the primordial life force. That's really what it is.
Wow. That's so cool. Like, wow, it's so cool. Like the big island's like raw, primal, like it's so alive in there.
Okay, give us 2 or 3 different action steps that we can take every day to really harness this, so that we can stay conscious and on the alignment tip of it, rather than the energy being chaotic and corruptive. Because for those of us who are not doing what we are called to do, the call's going to get louder and louder and louder. And you're going to become more uneasy and more uneasy, and you're going to become displaced, and things are going to begin happening in your relationships and money and all that stuff, if it's not already, because that's what happens. If you're not going to move, the universe is going to move you. So we want to get on the tip where we are taking action every single day to make sure that we are aligning.
Okay, thank you. Yes, some action steps. Well, first, like a basic one. Like just, if you don't already have this cemented and tattooed all over your body, that the universe has your back, right? The universe is a loving, benevolent, always working upon your behalf, has your back all the time, 24/7. Tattoo that all over yourself. Yeah. Put it everywhere.
That's a real hard one for people to really have 100% congruency with, because they've lived life on this planet and it's been chaotic. So I'm just going to tell you, when I first started hearing that, it was just like a concept. And so I didn't really believe it, but I wrote it down and stuck it on my mirror. And so what happens is you're subconsciously programming yourself. And if you read it to yourself every day, you're giving your brain a command. And so as you go through reality, your brain will then begin to filter for places where it does. And eventually you'll be in a place where you can really have that solid and sound. So it's going to take some work, because you got to override all that lifetime of conditioning that you have created. That's the brain patterns that are programmed, the neural nets that are firing, the emotional responses that you're having. You have to change yourself physiologically as well as connecting with your spirit.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not an easy task, but all of you ladies are up for this challenge, because remember, you're Wonder Women, you're wise warriors, you're here on purpose. You found Randina because you were supposed to, because the universe has your back and is working upon your behalf. So even, always, I think one of a really powerful thing too that, Randina teaches as well, but knowing how you feel. Yeah. Know how you feel, because when you don't know how you feel, you go unconscious. Yeah. And then when you go unconscious, you react to your external world, and you forget, oh my God, my external world is a mere reflection of my internal world. So if someone crosses my path and I say, oh my God, you're bad, and I'm blaming you for everything that's wrong in my life right now, it's all your fault, and I'm going to react to you, and I'm going to say, put up your dukes, mister or miss or lady, right? Yeah. I'm going to fight with you, but I'm really fighting with myself. I'm punching myself in the mirror, because that person crosses your path because they come as a mirror for whatever it is that the universe is trying to either gently wake you up to, or has been trying to wake you up and is now like, okay, this is, I got to throw water in your face. Oh, I'm awake now.
It really happens to be ice water with ice cubes in it.
Ow, that hurts. That's sharp. So that's a good practice. And you can even go back into maybe a recent, argument or something that just threw you off your off your game, and you're like, oh man, I was down like depressed street for a couple days. Just go back in that and go, okay, I'm going to replay this. Now, what happens when I look at it as an observer, curious? What's my mirror? What's that person's mirroring me? Something the universe just sent me a gift. Okay, I'm going to replay it. So you can, like Rendina says, you can help create a new neural firing.
Yeah.
It's going to happen again, right? Yeah. We're living in Groundhog's Day, that movie. We're always in the now. It's repeating itself over and over until you shift and change out of like a dynamic that then frees you or liberates you to having a new kind of experience.
One of the things I like to ask myself is, what is my part in this?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. What is my part in this? What is my part in this? Because then you take your power back. Because when we're blaming other people, you're powerless. Like, you have to feel that way, and it sucks because the other person's doing something to you. What are you going to do? Nothing. You're just going to be a victim. Like, no. Yeah. You have to be like, okay, that hurts. What is my part in this? Like, what is this here? Is this really about him, or is this about me feeling rejected and abandoned when I was a child from my father? Like, you have to ask yourself those kinds of questions, because it's not ever about the current situation.
Exactly. Especially when it does hurt to a deeper level. So you might even think, oh, that's kind, you might share it with a friend, and your friend might go, oh, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But you're like, oh my God, it feels like my life is about to end, when it feels so.
Share it with your friends, because they don't know.
Unless they're in the power woman, then they can reflect it back to you in a more higher way. Yeah. So you just want to go, if you feel extreme, then that's when you got to say, okay, I got to back away from this. I got to create some space. What's this bringing to me? Like, what's my part in this? What's the gift? And if you're like, F you gift, I can't deal with this right now. I'm too emotional, right? Or I feel too much. Then you just honor that, because it will shift and change.
Yeah. Allow yourself to feel, but do it away from whoever you're in experience with.
Don't press the bomb in front of the people.
You gotta feel it out your own self, so that it can run through, because it's always how they say hindsight is 20/20. So even when you're in those compelling emotional responses, sometimes it just gets you. Like, sometimes your left brain, it just takes over, and you just either gonna fight it out or you're gonna run. Right. There's no other option. It's one or the other. So it's after that happens that you can have the retrospect to be like, okay, what attracted that? If it's a recurring pattern, if it's not a recurring pattern, just let it go. Let it go. Yeah. If it's recurring, that's when you really want to look at it and say, okay, what is this about? Because here's what I found, the most amazing, beautiful thing about it. All of the situations that are presenting themselves to you that are challenges or wounding or pain or whatever it is exactly what you need to heal to reach that intention that you said you wanted, that may not even have anything to do with that particular area of your life. Maybe you want a business career, success, but in your relationship, something happens. Well, because it's all you, everything is related to your identity. If you have something that happened in that relationship, and you can tag it to something that you feel about yourself and heal that, that's going to reflect in your business, and now you're going to be able to show up different in your business. So especially in relationship with men, because money is very masculine. It's that giving masculine energy in the universe. And when we have imbalances with our father relationship, was just a mirror of our relationship with the masculine as a whole, we'll have imbalances in physical money. So when you can really use that masculine relationship that you're in to heal that aspect of you, the physical money then shows up too, because now you're more congruent with that giving energy with the man, with, being open to receive. Things that seem unrelated, everything is related. Everything is related.
Totally. And like when you said earlier, like when there's 4 things and you focus on the one that's bad and then the other ones fall apart. But if you focus on the one that's good, then it helps heal the other ones and brings them up to a higher frequency or vibration. Same thing. Mm-hmm. So like you're looking at that relationship with the man, it's also, if you can come to the place of healing within yourself that you need, then your business or whatever part of your life that you want more success in, or more pleasure, joy, that's gonna, you don't have to do anything about that. It's just gonna like synchronize it and harmonize with it.
Because you're healing the aspect of you that's creating that. So that's the reflection in a relationship. That's the reflection in the business. So if you transform that consciousness within you that's creating that, then you elevate to a new level of consciousness. It's the same thing of believing I can't do it and then transforming to I can do it. You're going to have that experience of I can do it in life.
Totally. And that is so brilliant, because like in astrology, you have like the cross. And so if you're looking at relationships, because public self is your career energy, if you heal yourself through being authentic with yourself in the first house, and then you look at your childhood, the wounding from there, or maybe I didn't get something that then I created a belief around that I'm not good enough, or I wasn't wanted, or they weren't there, it's all my fault. That's going to affect all those big parts of your life, and you're going to either be on the cross, or you're going to be like harmonizing and turning it into a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be on the cross.
I know.
Yeah, we don't want to be on the cross, because that's one of the totally, because with the 6-month window of the new moon in Aquarius about the future, what we're healing, like all of us waking up, all of us that are waking up on the planet, is we're now ready to dissolve this victim perpetrator dynamic. Because they are one and the same. They are not two different things.
No,
right?
they're matching.
They're matching. And so the real kind of umbrella of the force that's really driving that thing, that victim perpetrator, is this control drama around persecution.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are creators of reality, and we can free will choose. I'm not creating that, or I'm not going to participate with that control of, persecute. So I need to victim and I need a perpetrator. No, we are stepping off that wheel of suffering and we're going on to a whole other experience in an Aquarian consciousness.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that about the persecutor thing, because that is one of the number one fears of the women that I work with in fulfilling their soul's purposes. They have that fear of being persecuted. They have that fear of being judged by people. This is why number one fear of people is public speaking. Most people would rather die than speak in public, because we have this collectively of being up there, being persecuted. And so it's interesting to see the dynamic, because that's like one of the number one things that we have to heal before they can actually show up. And once that is healed, once that lineage, once that DNA is recoded, they are completely different people, and they're no longer afraid to be on camera, or like afraid to be in front of the stage, because they've had that part of them. It's so deep. Like, I wish I had time to explain how it gets programmed into your DNA right now scientifically. I can't go, so they'll save that for another class, but continue on with what you were saying.
Yeah, so deep, totally. Because one of the action steps we can take to help us, because that's a deep conversation even right there, that victim perpetrator, and it's so ingrained in the way that we live in the world, not only ourselves but our family, our friends, our community, the whole human race, right? Mm-hmm. So we're transcending a lot, but we just do it within ourselves, and it ricochets out. Mm-hmm. So one of the things you can do, like to strengthen like the sacral chakra, the Pluto, the soul energy that's really going to help you in this next 6 months, is it said activate your soul pleasure. Right? What are you creating? What are you giving birth to? And if you don't know, one of the things they said, because when we're about 12, around 12, that's when Pluto has shifted finally out of the sign that we were born into. Mm-hmm. So say like Randina, so when you were 12, that's probably around when Pluto was in Scorpio and out of like your experience of it so far. Mm-hmm. So they said, well, if I don't know what my soul pleasure is and I'm trying to activate it, but I feel so removed from it, because I haven't been given permission to connect. Go back to when you were 12. What did you like to do? Who were you? How'd you see yourself? You're just leaving like the tweens, and you might be moving into, teenager right before you turn 13. Like there's like that rite of passage there, and you're still young enough to, you might still have dolls. Who knows, right? Who cares? But there was something there that was really important to you. So find that little piece, and then that's going to open a door. You
know what it was?
What was it?
It was being outside and collecting crystals.
Are you serious?
Me and my little sister. Because we
Wow.
lived like in the mountain area, so we could just like go around and like just dig in the dirt and find all these things.
Now, I think in your third reading, you have the crystal gazer as one of your Sabian symbols. I'll have to look to see what goddess that is.
Yeah.
So that's probably connected. Yeah. Yeah, I call upon her.
Yeah.
Just like, and that will just activate maybe another part or just another piece.
It's that deep connection with nature. It's that deep connection with spirit, with Mother Earth, with the heartbeat.
Ooh, that's nice. So Pallas Athena right now is hanging out in that Taurus energy, which is Mother Earth. So then she's like, oh, I'm going to whisper wisdom to you. I'm going to like give you my owl and put it on your shoulder and then see what happens. Right?
Yeah, I need to schedule that 30-minute with you because I need to talk about Pallas Athena being in my, remember when she was in like the woman that was looking at interpersonal relationships wondering, am I ever going to find someone that matches my vibration? And like right when you said that, I was like, darn it. I literally was just saying that like 2 days ago. And then I'm just like,
whoa.
I know, that's why I was like, no. But then when you get to Juno, it's like love and relationships and marriage. So I was like, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we good.
Yeah, we good there. We just got to get that other goddess and like answer her question.
Yeah, so I'm going to schedule that with you. But then you're like, well, May 2018, you're going to go through another success streak. So I'm like, oh, cool, because that's the next round of my course. So, hey.
Oh, my God. See that, ladies? Now you get proof. You see Randina, this happening to her, but it's happening to you too.
Yes.
Just remember.
When you really learn it and you really get in tune with that soul energy, you just do it naturally.
Naturally. And then, when you get more, like you peel away those layers that are kind of like blocking your alignment, your connection, all of that, then it's like effortless. So you're like going downstream with your hands in the air going, whee, this is fun.
Yeah,
I don't even
really
know I'm scared. I'm like, I'm going for it.
It's just like, because you start to see it and you become so powerful, and it's like 1 second you're visualizing something and the next second it's in your reality already. You like learn the energy to say, to connect to your vision and your heart, to have that come in, and it just happens naturally, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I think, isn't that what happens out of the body? Like that's how we create in spirit.
yeah.
We think it's there. But in the, the physical world, it's, it's a little slowed down. It's because we have to get more molecules to come together.
I think it's because we're identifying with the physical world rather than remembering that we are source in human bodies, meaning we are creators.
Yeah. Girlfriend, you just solved the riddle of the
All right, game over. We're done.
That was awesome.
Like, and I'm out.
Oh my God.
I saw Sarah say, look, she has her blue pen. I'm programming that shit.
Right, exactly. That was brilliant. So that was beauty.
Well, I just had that learning. I really did. I just had that learning. It's like always being out there and like and being so identified with this body. And it was like I heard Abraham saying, like, you remember, you are that source. You're source in human form. And I'm like, duh, like there's no disconnect. There's no like, okay, we always think 3D, 4D, and we've got to activate the higher chakras and connect to our soul and, source and all this stuff. And it's like, but wait a minute. It's like that 4D energy is what comes into the 3D to create the life. Like that is what you are.
Yeah, like you're the bridge, or whatever you think of you is, that's the fourth dimensional bridge.
Yeah.
But you're really like operating higher in the fifth to bring the whole experience up to be like the Merkaba, be your spirit light body. That's your multidimensional vehicle.
Oh, that's what I was going to say too. Yeah. I actually got into the Merkaba probably, I would say like 6 to 8 months ago, maybe even 9 months ago. I saw the symbol in meditation and I didn't know what it was. And I heard the word Merkaba or Merkaba or something. So I was like, if I even said to myself, I'm like, if that symbol matches that word, freak the fuck out. Right? So then I went and looked it up and it did. And I was like, all right, I get it. I could use it. So I started using it, but I found on YouTube, it's called the Merkaba light body. And it's this man that is taking you through different breathing exercises to activate your Merkaba light body. And the way that he does it with the different mudras, but it really does take you into another place, and you can actually like feel that energy, because you got to get the positive and the negative poles spinning at the right frequency. And you also have to make sure that what you're focused on is really truly what you desire to experience, because it is going to come into form. And so you learn to use that. So it's so cool that it's the whole next 6 months of this funness.
Yeah. Can you post that video?
I will.
That's so cool. I found my Merkaba picture.
Oh, yay! Yeah.
This is from Amanda Starr.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Isn't that cool? So that's like your earth coming to heaven, and then heaven coming to earth. So that's the Merkaba. Yeah.
It's like the positive pole and the negative pole. Like there's the feminine and then the negative or the masculine triangles.
Exactly. And then one, it's a triangle. So there's a point in the front and then a point in the back.
Yeah. The one that we do that is on the YouTube video, it's not with the inside, it's just the triangles like this. So that is what's in the body. And then that center part is there. It's like static, but then the other parts are the ones that are spinning.
Oh, right. And
so it teaches you how to do it.
Okay. That's so cool. I can't wait to do that.
So awesome.
And and ladies, remember, breath is life. So he's teaching through using like controlled breathing. That's prana life force.
Yeah.
So that's no joke. No, I want to try it. Ready for blast off.
Yeah. Woohoo. Excited. I'm so excited for this. Okay. So do the Merkaba, work with your Merkaba. Yeah. Look up that symbol. It's a sacred symbol. It's been around forever, and it really is amazing. I mean, you can feel it when you really see it, when you hold it in your hands. Plus, Metatron's cube also. So look up that too, because Metatron is an amazing archangel. That's what he does, and he clears and balances all chakras, and also can transform dimensional realities too, like parallel realities. So you really want to become familiar with that energy. Right, because you can work with it subconsciously far greater than you can in your conscious mind. Just a physical form, because it's that energy that you're giving to the universe as a command that it responds to, that then creates. So it bypasses your belief system, because our belief systems are like linear, created by our parents and patriarchal in society and all that stuff. And it takes you beyond that. So you want to be blessed beyond belief. If I was to have an affirmation, any one of you would say, I am blessed beyond belief, so that you can override those belief systems and receive blessings anyway. It does work. Like that does work. So I am blessed beyond belief is when you're going to want to say to yourself in the mirror every day.
Ooh, I love that, because, then it connects you to as above, so below.
As within, so without.
Right?
Who knew? They've been trying to say this for thousands of years.
I know, right? We're like, oh my God, astronomical. Like, wow. And they're like, yeah.
I know. That's funny. I love you so much, Shannon. Thank you so much for bringing your beautiful sage wisdom to us in this community. You're such a beautiful, integral piece of it. I'm so
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me be a part of this wonderful community. I feel like I can go on living now, because I have hope for the future, because I know all of you ladies are out there.
You too?
Me with you. I'm like, oh, finally.
I know. I like walk around. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it. I have a feeling we're gonna make it. There's hope. There's hope.
Totally. I really feel like we're gonna be okay.
I think so too.
You're so awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you all the ladies. You're all
Bye, everyone. Love you all so much.
Bye.